If you have been chasing in love and you just can't get them to love you back, or maybe you are in a no contact phase and you would like to manifest them back, or maybe you're trying to manifest that desired relationship, or maybe you're trying to find answers how you can keep attracting quality relationships into your life because you have a pattern of attracting toxic partners into your life. So in today's video, you're going on a walk with me because it's a beautiful day. So why not go on a walk with me while I answer all the questions that are going to give you the answers that you are looking for. And guess what? I'm going to be answering questions that will completely blow your mind. So let's get started.
What's one client story that really stuck with you?
There have been so many stories. Like, if at the top of my head, if I have to think about something recent, one of my client was able to manifest her desired relationship just because she started playing table tennis. Now, what's the correlation of playing table tennis and finding the love of your life? Now, this is very interesting. You see, when I was healing her, the way I heal people is I take them to a part in their subconscious mind that reveals the lesson. And she had a father wound. And as a result of a father wound, 5 traits that are associated with the father get damaged. And these 5 traits are self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. And she had all of these in lacking. And as a result of that, she kept attracting narcissistic partners in her life. So, when her subconscious mind revealed the lessons, she healed instantly. But the most important part is the lessons that her subconscious mind revealed to her. Now, one of those lessons was to feel more self-confident about who she is, to know her self-worth. All the lessons that are associated with the traits that are developed as a result of your emotional connection with your father. So I asked her a pretty simple question. What is an activity that you can do that can trigger the neurological state of self-worth, self-esteem, self-respect? And she said table tennis. So I asked her to start playing table tennis on a daily basis, because playing table tennis on a daily basis will trigger the neurological state of self-respect, self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, and sense of identity. And she kept doing that for 3 months. And 3 months later, she met the guy who was perfectly what she was looking for. And she didn't meet him at a table tennis competition or anywhere she was playing table tennis. It's just the fact that playing table tennis triggered the neurological state that was deficit inside of her, and her subconscious mind started resonating with that neurological state, and that's how she ended up attracting the person that she desired the most. And that is one of the most amazing client stories that I have.
Speaking about narcissistic partners, have you encountered narcissistic partners in your life or in your work?
Woo! So that brings back some memories. So, to understand this, I had a pattern of attracting narcissistic partners in my life. In fact, I was in a narcissistic relationship which lasted 8 years. And that's not just one of them. I had several of them. Now, the reason why I kept attracting these kind of partner was because of my childhood experiences. Because in between the ages of 1 to 9, when our subconscious mind is developing, I had a bit of a traumatic relationship with my father. And as I explained earlier, as a result of a father wound, the 5 traits that are associated with the father gets damaged. So I had lack of self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. But I also had a kind of a mother wound. Now, the 5 traits that are associated with the mother are empathy, expression of love, nurturing, creativity, and spirituality. But I had all of these traits in excess. Now, when you combine these two together, they form your relationship blueprint for your adult life. And trust me, this blueprint is the blueprint of a victim of a narcissist. This is the subconscious blueprint profile of someone who will keep attracting narcissistic partners into their life. And that is one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to escape this particular pattern. Because there came a time in my life when I attracted someone who triggered all the father-related wounds and all the mother-related wound, what a lot of you might call as twin flame, and that completely sabotaged me, and I wanted to heal myself. And I wanted to heal myself is the reason that led me towards becoming a hypnotherapist. And the most ironic part is that approximately 90% of my clients who come to me have the same pattern that I had. Because imagine this, if someone had the father-related traits in excess, which means they have an excess of self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity with the lacking of empathy, expression of love, nurturing, creativity, and spirituality, that makes them a narcissist. And a narcissist never takes accountability. So I rarely had a chance of a narcissist coming into my session and being like, hey, guess what? I'm a narcissist. I need to heal myself. So that rarely happens.
What did you struggle with before discovering hypnosis, and how have things changed since?
I think one of the biggest difference that I realized after healing is before healing, in all aspects of my life, whether be it professional life or personal life, I used to give my 100%. I used to give it my all. But I kept coming across failure. The more I came across failure, the more I started over-giving, over-performing. The more I overperformed, the more I kept failing. And that made me realize that maybe I'm a loser. Up until the point that I became a hypnotherapist and I realized how our subconscious mind works. The loop is I kept feeling like a failure is the reason that no matter even if I gave my 100%, I ended up with the same result. That is failure. And once I healed, I found happiness. And the more happier I became, even 10% of my effort ended up attracting more happiness. The more happy I became, the less I had to work, the less I had to perform, and the more happier I became. So the loop completely broke down, and I found the cheat codes to life.
Just so everyone is on the same page, what is hypnosis? And who can it help?
You know, unlike a lot of the people who think hypnosis is something that you go to a therapist, they put you into hypnosis. Here's a fun fact. We all go into hypnosis on a daily basis. To put it in simple words, hypnosis is if anything can grab your attention and it can access your subconscious mind. And it can put you in a trance. That is hypnosis. Now, in between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind is a firewall that is called critical factor. And what the purpose of this critical factor is that if anything that does not resonate with whatever is inside your subconscious mind, it will deflect that. Your conscious mind will not accept that. In hypnosis, what happens is you go into a trance and the critical factor or the firewall of your subconscious mind goes down, so the message goes directly to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is highly suggestible. Now, did I confuse you? Let me give you an easy example. Have you observed some people go to watch a movie and there's a tragic scene? And you might have observed some people start crying. What's happening over there? Did something tragic happen in their life? No. They are in a trance, and that trance is triggering the neurological state of sadness is the reason that they are crying. Love in itself is trance. Have you observed when you are in love with someone, you lose situational awareness. Whatever they do goes directly inside your subconscious mind. Sometimes you even lose your logical reasoning because love in itself is trance. And anyone who can concentrate on something and understand something can go into hypnosis.
Why is your program so expensive?
I get that question a lot. So, why is my program so expensive? That's because if you go towards conventional therapy, it's going to cost you a lot of time. And if you do the maths, it's going to cost you a lot of money. What I do is I save you the time, and all my methods are instant, and I guarantee you the results. That means if you do not get the results in 15 days, you get your money back. So that's a no-brainer. But here's something much more interesting that your therapist wouldn't do for you. I don't just heal your father wound and mother wound and help you attract the relationship that you truly desire or you deserve, or I teach you the art of having communication with your partner in a way that brings you guys closer. I transfer those skills to you. That means I teach you how you can do instant healing hypnosis on your own, and I make you practice that. I teach you the art of conversational hypnosis, where you can just have a casual conversation with anyone, and in less than a minute of casual conversation, you can subconsciously make them attracted to you, and I make you practice that. And when you combine these two skills together, not only are you making your life magical, you can heal anyone you want. You can heal your partner. You can heal your children. You can completely shift the epigenetic timeline of your entire generation to come. Some of the people learned this art from me and they started doing this on their own. So that means if you see the benefits of what you get from my 15 days instant healing program, and then you weigh it against the cost, there has also been a survey that the educational industry, which is a $1 trillion industry, has seen a decline in college-based or university-based education and a rise in e-learning-based education. Why? Because people have begun to realize the sort of skills that they can acquire through e-learning, if not more, it is at least at a fraction of a cost, and they don't have to spend 4 years to acquire that particular skill. That's the reason e-learning has been growing.
Who can qualify to get coached by you?
Anyone who can convince me that they are absolutely ready to transform and they are willing to go to extreme lengths to heal themselves can get inside my 15 days instant healing program. And I often refuse people who say something along the lines of, is this program for me? That shows disbelief. And if you have any kind of disbelief, I don't want to take risk with you. I don't want to waste your time because my program comes with a money back guarantee and I would be wasting my time. So remember this. Beliefs manifest. If you believe my program can work for you, it will absolutely work for you. But if you have a shred of doubt, I might not be the therapist for you. And during the free mini therapy session, one of the things that I assess is what is your reason for healing? If your reason for healing is anything in your external reality, such as I want to manifest my SP, or you have some external condition based upon which you want to heal, I straight away reject you and I wouldn't allow you to enroll into my program. Because the external reality is uncertain. If it keeps changing, that means your healing journey will keep changing. You might not even heal. I only accept clients whose whole purpose to heal is because they want to heal it for themselves, because they're choosing themselves, and that in itself speaks a lot about them. No one is going to choose you if you do not choose yourself. And if your reason for healing is not yourself, then my program might not just be for you.
What's something about you that people wouldn't expect?
Uh, um, it's gonna sound creepy, but a lot of the people, when they are talking to me, they think that whatever they are speaking is what I'm understanding. But as a hypnotherapist, it's gonna sound creepy, but I'm already inside your head. I can read people's thoughts, patterns, and I can even predict what they're about to say, what they are thinking, what their motives are. I rarely focus on the words that people speak. I can read a lot more about what's happening inside their subconscious mind through different modalities. And sometimes when I start telling them, it sort of freaks people out, but that makes me a great hypnotherapist.
What's something about hypnosis that most people completely misunderstand?
I think one of the most misunderstood part about hypnosis is people think it's losing your free will. While that is true, I'm not gonna lie, think of hypnosis like a hammer. You can use a hammer to destroy something, or you can use a hammer to build something. It depends on the credibility of your hypnotherapist. So before deciding which hypnotherapist you want to work with, do some research, find out more about their credibility, their client testimonials, their success stories, and that is quite important because hypnosis is a very intimate process. You need to have trust with your hypnotherapist. Only then can true healing happen. And one of the worst things that I feel gets lost in the translation is the fact that hypnosis, once it is done right, it allows you to understand that once you access your subconscious mind, there are endless possibilities. The capabilities of your subconscious mind is immense. The amount of things you can manifest that you currently feel are impossible can be done if you understand how to connect with your subconscious mind and how to communicate with it. So I think that's one of the most misunderstood thing about hypnosis.
What are the most common patterns you see in people who struggle in relationships?
I think by coaching a lot of clients, I've lost the count to be really honest, I see people putting a lot of effort in their external reality. And what do I mean by that? That means chasing, over texting, running after them, over pleasing, over giving, and all of these things. If you see, they are putting a lot of energy in their external reality. When in fact, true magic begins when you start focusing on your internal reality. That is, you are a variable in this relationship as well. You are also playing a role. If you understand how to control your internal reality, you no longer have to chase. You no longer have to overplease, overgive, stalk your ex or stalk anyone you want to attract. You will understand that all that you have to do, all the effort that you have been doing in your external reality, if you did all that effort in your internal reality, trust me, you will manifest the impossible. And that is what I have observed with several different clients and in my own life.
You're a hypnotherapist and it's not quite a common profession, so what got you into it?
Okay. So, there comes a time in your life, you meet someone and you feel like you are destined to be together. And when that relationship, which some might even call twin flame, when that relationship doesn't work out, in my world, twin flame is trauma bond at its highest probability. Someone who triggers your trauma bond with the highest probability. It triggers all the traumas with regard to your father and your mother. So I went through a relationship like that and it completely destroyed me to the point where I was putting a lot of effort in my external reality and I realized nothing is working out. I want this person. I'm trying my level best. Nothing is working out. A point in my life where I lost all the hope. You know, the point in your life where you might have also felt like, what's the point of existing? You have lost everything. There's nothing you can do to get the person that you want the most. Now, at that particular point, you come to a choice. Either you give up on the concept of love in itself, or you decide that I'm going to change myself to the point where I will succeed. I chose the latter. And I come from a very entrepreneurial background. So as an entrepreneur, we are conditioned and we have been coached to understand that the best entrepreneurs are the ones that can solve people's biggest problems in the shortest amount of time possible. So that's the approach I took into healing. I tried conventional therapy, and once I went to a therapist and I explained my problem and I got a list of things that I had to work on and the amount of time I had to spend on therapy, I was like, by the time I'm done with therapy, she would have like 5 kids. Well, I'm a bit of an impatient guy. So back to being an entrepreneur. Find the quickest solution possible. So I started neurolinguistic programming. In neurolinguistic programming, I started realizing I had certain skills that I never knew I had. And that took me through hypnosis. And once I got into hypnosis, oh my God, I was never a spiritual guy. I was never the guy who believed in spirituality or magic or the power of manifestation, law of attraction. But I was always interested in psychology, human psychology, and that took me to places. And I'm sort of a nerd when it comes to studying something. If I want to study something, I'll do research, I'll do surveys, I'll go and talk to different practitioners. I will do each and everything to find the best solution, like an entrepreneur does. So what I did was, I got coached by several different NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist. I went to some of witches, demonologists, occult practitioner, magicians, anyone who would claim the quick solution, and I would just go to them. I would talk to them. I would ask them that I'm doing this research. I would love to study your method. And since I was good with conversational hypnosis, I could sweet talk my way into their subconscious mind and they would reveal their technique. And I started observing that all these techniques, different types of people using the same kind of techniques. And that's when I realized something very important. It's all about our subconscious mind. Everything that all these different people are preaching, it all depends on our subconscious mind. So I combined the best of all the worlds. I took something from them, I took something from them, I took something from them, I took something from my research, I took something from my studies, and I combined them all together and made my own method, did a shit ton of experiments, and here I am today. So it's a pretty interesting story. I hope they make a movie on it someday. But let's see.
How are you different from other therapists?
I don't want to throw some shit on some other therapists. Everyone have their own way of working. Everyone is different. I've learned from a lot of different people. To be really honest, I have massive respect for a lot of different people, their approaches, and I understand their approach, their healing modalities, the sort of work that they are doing. I think it's important as a hypnotherapist for me to develop my own USP, my unique selling proposition. And my unique selling proposition is that I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist. And unlike, once again, I'm not like trying to throw something bad on other therapists, but my program comes with a money back guarantee. That is my USP. That's how confident I am. You either get the result or you take your money back. I wasted your time, so you can have your money back. All that you lose with me is 15 days. But with conventional therapy, I don't think a lot of the conventional therapists give you a timeline of healing. Or is there any money back guarantee involved? I'm not quite sure about that as well. And I think a lot of it takes a lot of time, and I'm a very impatient guy. All my methods are instant. I specialize in instant healing hypnosis. I specialize in instant conversational hypnosis. So everything that I preach is instant. That means you apply it right now. You see the result right now. Like I said, I have a very entrepreneurial mindset. I give you quick solutions.
What if someone feels like nothing works for me? Can this still help them?
Oh, I think the word nothing got my attention because there are two possibilities. Number one, this person doesn't believe that they can be healed. And if that is the case, I can't heal you because you believe nothing works on me. Another possibility is this person has been scammed by a lot of scammy therapists. So my next line of question would be, do you believe there is a way out there that can help you heal? How they answer that question will determine if I would try to work with them. But technically, I would not try to convince a person like that. Like I said, my free mini therapy session is not for me to convince someone to work with me. It's an opportunity for them to convince me if I can work with them.
What kind of commitment does someone need to actually get results from your program?
A lot. You see, within the free mini therapy session, I asked this one question to all my clients, and based upon how they answer, determines if I'm going to allow them to enroll into my program. That is, are you fully committed to do everything that I ask you to do? And it's not something that I am going to ask you to do. As an instant healing hypnotherapist, I'm going to take you to a part of your mind that stores all the lessons and it's going to reveal all the lessons. And these lessons can be easy or they can be hard. Whatever they may be, you have to follow them. And you have to follow them. And if you follow them, you will get the results. Definitely. And the reason I ask for commitment is because a lot of my program is not like you just come into my program, I heal you, magic happens, tada, go, enjoy your life. No, I make you practice a lot. I make you practice a lot. In week number 1, when I teach you instant healing hypnosis, I remove your father wound and mother wound and completely change your relationship attraction style. But then I also give you a roadmap. And in week number 1, your entire task is to use the skills that I have taught you to practice and remove all the blockages from your subconscious mind. So there's a lot of practice involved. And in week number 2, I teach you conversational hypnosis. And once I teach you conversational hypnosis, I ask you to go out and practice on 10 different people. The more you practice, the more efficient you become. I want you to understand something very important. Repetition is the only way that your subconscious mind learns something. Repetition is the only way to perfectionism. So repetition is what I make you do. I make you practice again and again, again and again, again and again until the point that it becomes subliminal. You are no longer consciously doing these methods. You are doing them subconsciously. How about, let me give you an example. Okay, let's suppose if I was to teach you rope skipping. The very first time you're going to learn rope skipping, you're going to be doing it consciously. That means you have to consciously focus on the fact that you have to spin the rope And at the same time, when the rope is just below you, you have to jump and let the rope pass underneath you. So there's a lot of conscious effort you're putting in. So when you do it for the first time, it might be something like this. But with practice, the more you keep repeating it, and with repetition, conscious activities become subconscious activities, they become subliminal, and that's when true magic begins. Such as this. You see? Because it's all subconscious.
Do you ever still catch yourself slipping into old patterns?
Sometimes. I would say sometimes. I think healing is not a one-time thing. It's a lifelong journey. And you have to keep practicing your lessons. Sometimes when I see my old patterns re-emerging, happening again in my life, I question myself, when I heal this pattern, what were the lessons that were revealed to me? And I go back and I reflect on those lessons. And trust me, oftentimes, there was a lesson that I missed, or something that I didn't do what my subconscious mind told me to do. So I once again practice the lesson and I break the pattern. And I think for as long as I have been a hypnotherapist, I'm telling you, it's a journey. You will keep discovering a lot of patterns about yourself throughout your life. I'm giving you the tools so that you can remove them. And it completely changes the way that you live your life.
Have you ever had a client come in not believing in hypnosis at all, and what happened with them?
Let me think back. I think when I was doing things for free, when I was trying to learn and master the art of instant healing hypnosis, I would do it for free. And at that time, what used to happen was the results were like 50-50. And I realized the reason why the results were 50-50 was because when you don't charge someone, they don't believe in the perceived value of what you're offering. As the prices started going up, it got to a point where now I have 100% success ratio. Though I have had few cases where few clients asked for a refund, but since I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist and I can detect lies pretty easily, they just wanted to gain on the benefit and claim the money back. That happened with me.
Why do people keep attracting the same type of partner even when they know it's bad for them?
Let me give you an example. Why do you like pizza? You know it's bad for your health, but you know it tastes good, right? So, somewhere in your childhood, you were introduced to pizza. You tasted it, you loved it, and you developed a taste for it. And now, anytime you're going around, you can smell if there is pizza around. Your subconscious mind can detect pizza around you. And if it is your favorite food by chance, your subconscious mind will bring your focus on all the pizza places. That is because you have developed a taste for pizza. Now, even though you know that it's not good for your health, you still love when you eat it. No matter if there are going to be consequences of eating that pizza afterward, you just don't care. You get so immersed in the process of enjoying that moment. The same happens with relationship. The very first relationship we have is with our parents. And once we have that relationship, we observe how our parents interact with one another. We observe that, and if that is toxic, we think normally relationships are like that. Then we observe how our parents treat us. That puts a second layer on what we normalize in relationship. And how our parents treat us makes us normalize that kind of treatment in relationship. And that becomes a pattern, even though we know that is bad. But we have become immune to the consequences. We have normalized the consequences. And your subconscious mind works on survival. If you have already survived something before, your subconscious mind will not allow you to go towards anything else because it feels, what if that is risky or it might threaten your survival?
How has your approach in dating changed after you became a hypnotherapist?
A lot. Up until the point I became a hypnotherapist, by the age of 30, if I count in the friend zone, I had approximately like 7 relationships back to back. And you would be surprised. In between my teenage up until the point I was 30, I had this relationship, and the only time I was single was for 8 freaking hours. And among those 8 freaking hours, I was sleeping for 6 hours. This is because you need to understand why. I know it sounds funny, but you have to understand why that is. I was seeking validation from outside. I wasn't having all that validation inside of me. I needed someone else. I was so codependent on someone else giving me that validation. Even if the relationship was toxic, I didn't care. I wanted validation. I never got the validation, but that was normal for me. So I kept sticking in those relationships. However, the moment it was time for me to emotionally bond with someone, I exhibited traits of avoided attachment style. I would avoid any kind of emotional intimacy because in my childhood, I didn't have a healthy way of expressing my emotions. So I became avoidant. I had no idea how to emotionally express myself. But ever since I became an instant healing hypnotherapist, and I am patient 0. I am the first patient who I tested all of this healing on. Ever since then, I think I attract far more proposals. But since I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist, I kind of can just sense within a minute or two, it's not going to work out. And I can even predict what's going to happen, what her behavior is going to be, and what kind of conflict we are going to have, because we always attract what we feel inside, and I can tell she's not a version of me that I want to attract. But lately I've been attracting someone who is a reflection of exactly the ideal life partner that I want in my life. And in order to do so, I had to become a version of myself that I want to attract. She is into fitness just like I am. She's into spirituality just like I am. She is into human psychology just like I am. She's obsessed with occult science and practices just like I am. And a lot of our similarities brings us together. So you need to understand, we always attract what we are feeling inside. So I focus on what I'm feeling inside, and that has changed my perspective on dating. I don't just, promises or words don't get through me.
Why do some people not get results?
There is a very great example I can give you about why some people do not get results. You see, the modality of healing that I use, I take you to a part of your mind that reveals the lessons, and then you are supposed to practice those lessons. It's not like a magic, like you walk into my 15 days instant healing program, I spin my magical wand and everything is all heavenly and rainbows. No. Healing is the lifelong journey. You need to start practicing those lessons. Oftentimes, what people do is they practice their lessons for a while and then they go back to their old patterns. They stop practicing the lessons. And once they stop practicing the lessons, the results go away. The patterns start repeating again. The lessons that your subconscious mind reveal you are there to protect you from repeating your old pattern. If you do not follow them, the pattern reemerges.
What's the difference between someone who watches content versus someone who actually changes their life?
Let me give you a great example. What if you watch a lot of the content about people who are in gym, who are working out, versus actually going to gym? That's the difference. Watching something will influence you. Whatever content you consume influences your subconscious mind. That's only like 20% of the influence, but over a period of time, if you keep getting exposed to a particular type of content, over a period of time, you will get convinced and you might try it out. But you might not try it out with a lot of conviction. Or even if you try it out, it might take you a lot of time because your subconscious mind is being primed. So if you keep watching content about fitness, people lifting weights for a couple of weeks, after a while, it would motivate you to hit the gym. So the sort of content you consume starts influencing you. So it's good if you're watching the content, it's good, but it's always good to understand that consume the content, but start taking the action as well.
What's a small habit that has had the biggest impact on your life?
I think there's a saying, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And I think that is something that I live by. I come across moments in my life when things happen that can trigger pain. But that pain only lasts for 3 minutes because I choose not to suffer. I get inside my subconscious mind, I turn off that pain, and I'm no longer suffering. I'll tell you a funny story. When I manifested my ex back, I shouldn't have. I did it for scientific reasons. You know, things we do for science. And I was hoping I could influence her into healing and then there will be a happily ever after, which never happens. And then what happened is she broke up with me over the text in the same manner that she did before. But when she did it before, I collapsed. I lost all the hope. I was in a state of mind where I didn't feel like living and blah, 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 blah. This time, when she sent me the message, I read the message and my literal reaction was, okay. I kept my phone aside, closed my eyes, removed that pain, and 3 minutes later, I moved on. I was living my life and I was happy. I mean, if she's watching this, it took me 3 minutes to move on from you. That's who I am.
What's the most dramatic transformation you've seen in someone's relationship?
The most dramatic. Okay, I remember something. One of my clients, but remember, she had an exceptional subconscious mind. She started my 15 days instant healing program. Day 1, we heal her father wound, her mother wound. Her relationship pattern is broken. She moved on from her ex right after the session, and I gave her the task to complete in week number 1. And on day 3, she sends me a message that her ex has DM'd her and he wants to meet her. And he is showing signs of remorse and he's apologizing. He is saying all the things, all the right things. And she's like, hey, even though he's saying all the right things that I wish if he said before, I would have fallen madly in love with him or given him a second chance. But now I know I deserve better. I'm worth better. And I don't want him. And I think that's a very crazy thing. She manifested her ex back and realized that's not what she wants. And that is self-awareness.
Can someone be self-aware and still stuck? Why does that happen?
Now, one of the biggest misconceptions that I find, I was recently talking to few other professionals and I was talking about the concept of self-awareness. I think a lot of the people confuse self-awareness with what actually self-awareness is. A lot of the people consciously entertain the idea of self-awareness, but they are not actually self-aware at a subconscious level. Let me give you an example. Have you seen a couple of women sitting around talking about how an ideal relationship should be? They're talking about, you deserve much better. He is not the one for you. You should never chase a guy. Stop stalking him. Block him. Never ever look back at him. Never accept him because you're worth more than that. But then, that girl, when all these girls are not around, she goes back and does the same thing. So, what are they doing? They're entertaining the mindset. They're entertaining the concept of self-awareness, but it's not embedded into their subconscious mind. And this is one of the things that I have sensed with a lot of different people and a lot of gurus as well, and a lot of therapists, I wouldn't name them, who entertain the idea of self-awareness, who consider themselves self-aware. However, they are just consciously entertaining the idea of self-awareness. It's not deeply embedded in their subconscious mind. Self-awareness that is deeply embedded into a subconscious mind would act from that point of view. That means whether someone is present or not, they are able to logically analyze a situation, determine what is good for them. They can see things from other person's perspective. They can see things from their perspective and come to a logical conclusion. That is self-awareness. Self-awareness is not just talking about it.
Why is talking or just thinking positively not enough to fix deep relationship issues?
Because if that was true, the entire field of psychology and therapy just wouldn't exist. People would just talk positively to themselves and fix themselves. But that doesn't happen. A lot of the traumas and the patterns are deeply embedded into our predominant neurological state. Now, what is a predominant neurological state? A predominant neurological state is developed between the ages of 1 to 9 when our subconscious mind is developing. And at that time, our subconscious mind is highly suggestible and it adapts to whatever is happening. And changing that just by positive talk is not possible, at least to what I have observed. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen someone talking positively and making a long, sustainable shift or transformation in their life. It can be short term. Have you seen those people who are playing some sports and they are like, you can do it, just focus. So for time being, their neurological state shifts and they are able to perform. but it does not shift predominant neurological state. Neurological state has a timeline of 20 minutes. Any neurological state that is not fed for 20 minutes will die out. If you keep feeding it, it might go as long as an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, but it will eventually die out. That's why talking positively cannot help you remove deeply embedded traumas or your patterns. That's why a lot of the people who are doing affirmations and all those practices often not see results. That's the problem.
If someone is watching this and feels like this is me, what would you want them to know?
I have good news and I have bad news. Let's start with the bad news. The bad news is that you're just listening to it. The good news is you are just one step away from realizing the true potential of what your subconscious capabilities are. You don't have to live your life like this. This is not the entirety of your life. You're not going to feel like this for the entirety of your life. If you choose to change yourself, if you choose, you are willing to go as far as it takes you to get inside your subconscious mind, remove the traumas and the patterns and follow the lessons. The moment you start following the lessons, miracles happen. You will be able to manifest your dream life. And that's something I have observed time and time again, to the point where I cannot even count how many times I have observed it.
If you could give your younger self one sentence of advice, what would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, I would love to. It's just one sentence, right? So, I would love to tell myself to get into what I'm doing right now early on in my life. But I think certain events needs to happen in your life for you to, experience certain things. I went through a lot of toxic relationship patterns is the reason that why I'm able to help other people heal their toxic relationship patterns. But if I had to say just one thing, I'll say the one thing that my subconscious mind told me that completely changed my life and that just completely changed how I manifest things. That is, keep your belief game strong. Fates will be rewritten. And that's something I have on my wall, because that's one of the most powerful lessons that my subconscious mind told me. And that lesson has made me manifest things people can just dream of. And that lesson is, belief game so strong, fates will be rewritten. And there is so much power in that one sentence that my subconscious mind gave me. And that's something I would say to my younger self, because if my younger self can just believe with all his conviction, he would achieve a lot more than what I have achieved by now.
What's the biggest mistake people make when trying to heal themselves?
I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're trying to heal themselves is they start with listening to a lot of different people. When they listen to a lot of different people, they start taking a lot of different advices. My recommendation to people would be to understand, first of all, how does your subconscious mind work? Start from there. That will help you filter out which person is saying the right thing and which person is just scam. Which person is just selling you their scammy course or scammy program, and which person is actually giving you the right outcome. For that, you need some education about how does your subconscious mind work. So start with understanding the fundamentals of your subconscious mind first, and then go about healing.
What's something people think is a personality trait but is actually trauma?
I think narcissistic personality trait is something that people think is a trait, but in my experience, it is actually trauma. Like I said, If you observe a narcissist, they have that kind of personality because of a particular father wound. A father helped the child develop 5 traits. These 5 traits include self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, and sense of identity. And these 5 traits are in excess inside their predominant neurological state or their subconscious mind. They also have a mother wound, according to which the mother associated traits that include empathy, expression of love, nurturing, creativity, and spirituality are in deficit. So in reality, they have this personality because of a father wound and a mother wound. The moment they are able to heal their father wound and mother wound, they would no longer have that narcissistic personality. They only try to control and manipulate people because that's what they have observed in their childhood. One of their parents might be narcissistic, so it could be epigenetic. And if it is epigenetic, then it is really hard to heal. Those kind of people never even try to heal. But if it is something that is as a result of their childhood conditioning, and if that person realizes that they have this kind of personality and they would like to transform, which is quite rare, but it's not impossible, it can be healed.
How has your approach as a hypnotherapist changed since you started practicing?
Since I have started practicing, there were a lot of trial and error. To be really honest, there were a lot of trial and error. And at first, when I became a hypnotherapist and I realized I had the power, I had the superpower to heal anything, anyone, and I could just go up to someone, I can touch a soul, I can heal it, and I have been blessed divinely, and all that sense kicked into me. I was going out there forcing people to heal. Now, that did work for a while, but then it just didn't. And it made me realize something very important. You cannot heal someone who doesn't want to be healed. For example, if a patient is having a heart attack and they refuse to go to a doctor, you just can't save them. The person must admit that there's something wrong with them and they're willing to heal. Only then can you heal them. So now I no longer force people to heal up until the point they want to heal. Another major change is when I learned all of this stuff, I knew I could heal people's lives. I could read the patterns and I could just identify what is the root cause of all their problems. And I would start giving them my opinions, and I realized free opinions have no value. So one of the biggest advice I gave to myself and I give to other people is never ever give your opinion unless you're being asked for it or you're being paid for it.
For someone hesitant to invest, how should they think about the cost versus staying stuck?
I mean, imagine this. This is one of the biggest reasons I have defined my niche. That is women above the age of 30. I do not allow anyone, and the reason why I choose women and not men, because initially my program was open for men and women both, but I realized 90% of my clients were women, only 10% were men, because women take accountability and they are into understanding that they need to transform themselves, adapt themselves, and they need to go inside and change something to improve their life. Men, on the other hand, have a very different approach. All these Sigma and alpha male ideologies have kind of ruined a lot of the men, and that's why I just focus on women. And the reason why I focus on women plus 30 is because before the age of 30, people have a sort of an arrogance, or not even arrogance. I would use the word They try a particular approach in a relationship that doesn't work out, and they go like, I'm not going to repeat this in my next relationship. And they try a different approach and it doesn't work out. And by the age of 30, they have at least had one significant relationship that was very deep, and that didn't work out. And they have exhausted all their options and all their tactics. And that's when they are open to accepting that, okay, I need to try something different. And once someone is in that mindset, transformation becomes instant. And when a woman is standing at that point, at the age of 30 or 30 plus, and she has exhausted all her tactics, and women naturally have that pressure of, if nothing has worked out up until now, I'm reaching an age where I want to find a committed relationship. So I ask you, what's more important? Taking more risks and following the same pattern, or making an investment and completely breaking the pattern and achieving the relationship that you truly desire? And I think you know the answer to that.
What do you do for fun when you're not working with clients?
What do I do for fun? To be honest, that's my passion. I love reading people. I love analyzing. I love doing research. Like I said, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to all of this. I love studying the capabilities of our subconscious mind, but that's the boring stuff. I love fitness. I love shuffle dancing, and I am crazy about it. It's part of my life. I work out every day. I do shuffle dancing every day. I do meditation every day, and it keeps me happy and it keeps me upbeat. And I love my life like that.
What would you say to someone who is thinking, I believe everything you say, but I would like to test it out first?
I think that's a wise choice. Before making any big investment, you need to first of all observe if it even works out for you. And I would highly recommend people, before you even try to enroll into my 15 days instant healing program, remember something. I have launched my free instant heartbreak healing mastery course. Now, in this course, I cover a lot of fundamentals about how our subconscious mind works, how instant healing hypnosis works. It's a 90-minute course. All it takes is 90 minutes. And within this 90 minutes, I will teach you how instant healing hypnosis works and how you can heal a heartbreak in less than 2 to 3 minutes. And I show it to you. Try that out. The link is in the description. And if that works out for you, my 15 days instant healing program will completely transform your life and your generation to come.
If someone doesn't change these patterns, where does it actually lead long term?
The pattern would just keep repeating again and again, again and again, again and again. And after a while, a person just kind of lose hopes. They fall into depression. They fall into a failure trap. I like to call it a failure trap, because whatever they try with a pessimistic approach, and they keep failing, and they just kind of lose the essence of happiness in life. And to those people, I would say life is very beautiful. Each and every day that we are alive is extremely beautiful. Life is full of fun, joy, love, and harmony if you choose to believe in it. And remember what I said, pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice, and the choice is yours.